Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to our show where we live, love, and learn with dogs. My name is Britt.
And I'm Bailey. Today we're going to be going over some questions that we got from you guys on Facebook. And the first one is from Sonia, and she's asking how we teach the double down. If you're unaware of what the double down command is, that's when your dog is not only just in a down, but also has its head on the ground. So it's more of a relaxed state. So how we first teach this is we get a food lure. This can be treats or it can be their dog or your dog's regular kibble, whatever your dog will work for, as well as a prong collar and a leash. And what you're gonna do is ask your dog to down. You're gonna put a little bit of leash pressure downward on that prong collar, as well as take that food lure and guide your dog down to the floor. As soon as your dog's elbows hit the ground, that leash pressure is completely relaxed. You're going to do this over and over and over again until your dog understands what the down command is and you no longer need that leash pressure. Then you're going to add the e-collar pressure into it. So with that e-collar pressure, we like to use the Mini Educator brand. So on here, you can have the continuous, which means that when you press and hold this button, it is continuously stimming your dog, essentially. So when you go to teach your dog the e-collar, you're going to use your prong collar and leash. You're going to do that leash pressure again and tell your dog to down, as well as press and hold this button. Same exact concept, but you're doing them together, so that your dog already knows the leash pressure and can understand the e-collar pressure better. And you're basically just helping your dog out by doing that. Once your dog understands that if I feel this pressure and I lay down, once your dog understands that, then you can then teach your dog to feel this pressure and put their head down.
Yeah.
Did that kind of make sense?
Yep. It's
Okay.
a pressure on, pressure off system with basically every command. So it's pressure on when they're not compliant, head down, pressure off when they are. And
Right.
it's kind of a fine little dance. Like when you're teaching a double down, it's not always one specific way.
Absolutely.
And it's always low levels. It's never like a high level.
Yeah, it's not a correction.
We show them how to turn the pressure off.
Right.
So you know, it's kind of like I was saying, a fine dance where sometimes it's going to be maybe continuous stim, continuous pressure until the head is all the way down, or maybe it's like a tap, tap, tap. All dogs are different, but basically you're just fine tuning and fishing for the level of where your dog just finally is like, all right, I'm just going to relax.
Right.
And sometimes adding, if there's a dog that's really struggling with it, I'll sometimes even add the prong pressure along with the e-collar pressure until that head is all the way down. Once that head is down, mark good. It's important to, when you're teaching a calm command, like you want to be so neutral. So for example, if you put your dog in a double down and you go, good boy, it's going to send them up the roof. Or if you bring treats into the mix, it's going to create the opposite effect of what you're trying to make. So
absolutely. So make sure your rewards are in line with what you're asking your dog.
Just a simple good or yes, just to mark that the command was done correctly.
Another thing I want to add to this is making sure that you understand that your dog cannot do the double down in really high distraction areas if you have just taught your dog how to do that. So going back to the baby steps and making sure that your dog understands the double down first in your house, and then maybe in your garage, and then in your car, and slowly build up those distractions. Otherwise, you're going to set your dog up to fail if you expect your dog to do it in a really difficult situation.
Hundreds of repetitions, we're talking, like literally so many repetitions. Like it's exhausting sometimes, but it's like such a crucial part of the component for teaching the dog what we're expecting. And then slowly adding in the distractions. And then it's not like you're just shoving your dog into the belly of the beast and expecting them to behave, because it's not going to work out so well.
I mean, good for you for teaching your dog this, because it does take a lot of patience. So
right, kudos
we
to
wish
everybody.
you best of luck. Yeah,
definitely. And then we got door manners, a door manner question. So Sonia's dog rushes the door when guests come and knock at the door, not aggressive, but just excited. I'm kind of envisioning like barking and tail wagging and jumping and a lot of like high energy going on. So we want to be proactive when we're training our dogs. So it's not just all about, oh, the dog's rushing to the door, correct it. How about we first teach the dog place, which means get on a target that I designate for you, like a dog bed, and you hang out there until I release you. So now the dog understands a boundary that they have to maintain. So if the dog understands place, I love this command so much.
It's my favorite.
People come to the door, knock on the door, dog breaks place. You correct the dog at that time for breaking place or for breaking a known command.
Right.
And so now you're being more fair to your dog, and your dog, it just makes it a lot more clear for your dog.
Absolutely.
So yeah, definitely want to correct your dog for like breaking a known command. But again, back to what we were saying, hundreds of repetitions before you correct your dog for breaking a command.
So our next question is from Isabella, and she's talking about having to work long hours, and her dog is having accidents in the house as well as chewing shoes up. So she's wondering how to prevent that and if she should be disciplining that or not. You can't discipline something that your dog did hours prior to coming home because your dog's not going to understand and not going to remember. So our biggest thing here that we would do is crate training. Our only concern with telling you to crate train your dog is we're not sure how long those hours you're working are for. So if you're working 8 to 10 hours and you're not going to be home at all, you might want to consider hiring a pet sitter, a pet walker, or asking like a family member or friend to come over and let your dog out in the middle of the day.
Yeah, just for like a 30-minute let out, no big deal. If they can take him or her for a walk, even better. But just to let them out, relieve themselves, then they can go back in the crate until you get home.
Right. So that's making it fair to your dog too, because basically, if you're letting your dog kind of have free roam over the house, it's going to get into trouble. And essentially what you're doing is setting your dog up to fail. So you can't really correct things like that. Instead, put your dog in a safe environment in the crate. The crate dimensions are also really important. You don't want the crate to be too big, because oftentimes if it's too big, the dog will go to the bathroom in one corner of the crate and then sleep in the other corner. So you want to make sure that the dog has enough room to turn around, lay down, and stand up without any trouble, but not really any more room than that.
Yeah, and it's like the crate is also structure in your absence. So when you're not at home, it really helps clear up any potential issues and dangers. I mean, your dog could get into something, chew it up, and really harm itself, and or worse than that. So you're eliminating any potential issues from happening. You're keeping the dog calm while you're not at home. So also being proactive, and you want to teach your dog obedience as well. So it's not, you don't want to tackle just the crate thing. So when you're at home and you don't want to just allow the dog to free roam everywhere, because he or she may still potentially chew up shoes if they go around the corner, or if they've patterned and they don't know how to go to the bathroom outside, they could have accidents in the house. So you want to create new patterns for the dog and do the umbilical cord method. And I found this to be really successful. So that means you attach a leash to the dog and to yourself. It could be a long leash, whatever, doesn't matter. Basically, if the dog goes around the corner, he can't get away from you. So you'll start to pick up if the dog's trying to, sniff around, maybe has to go potty, be proactive, take the dog outside, the dog potties, good job, good girl, good boy, reward. And if you catch your dog in the act of chewing up a shoe or what have you, you at that moment can correct the dog only if they are in the act of it.
Right.
So even if it's literally 1 minute past, you come into the room and the dog is sitting next to the shoe but not chewing on it, you don't correct your dog at that point, because they don't connect it as clearly as how we think that they would.
Right. Absolutely. Especially as puppies. I'm not sure if you have a puppy in this situation, but especially as puppies, when they really don't understand that they're not supposed to be doing that. So the umbilical cord method really is just creating a new, better habit. So your dog really never gets the opportunity to go to the bathroom or to chew things up. And if you just stop those bad habits, then you're never going to have them again.
It's like permission-based training. So
absolutely,
it's really for a state of mind in the dog, not just like telling it what to do, but also, so we're creating leverage and it's like a safety mechanism too. If I open up the door because the pizza man comes, I don't want you just bolting out of there. So all of these little things, the crate training, the threshold, when I tell you to go place, you lay down there and don't you move. It's all these little things that are all interconnected to create a well-balanced dog that you can enjoy and take places with you. So
yeah,
structure.
And every single dog can benefit from this. Like, no matter if you're having problems with your dog or not, every single dog can benefit. And believe it or not, even if you're just having problems in the car or you're just having problems on your walk, if you incorporate this stuff into your daily routine, just inside your house, you're gonna see that all those other things are attached to it, and those other things will lessen big time because of all this structure.
Yeah, it's definitely like a domino effect.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's all interconnected. Just be clear with your dog.
Leadership. They need guidance. They need leadership. That's how they love you, is when you guide them. So respect is really big for dogs, and overall your relationship is completely reliant upon that.
100%. It's the same with people. Like, we want to follow people, leaders that we look up to, that we want to follow, as opposed to like being like the boss or the alpha, where it's like, oh, we have to listen to that person.
Right.
We want to create and cultivate a different kind of way of a relationship for the dog, to where it's just like, for me and my dogs, it's now relationship-based training.
Absolutely.
They listen to me because they want to, but I worked them through a lot of like what we've been talking about.
Yep.
So hope that helps you guys, and we really appreciate you watching. If you guys have more questions, please feel free to ask. We're coming together here to help you guys. And I think we're going to be doing some do-it-yourself videos.
Yeah.
Pretty soon.
Yeah, we want to show you guys as much information as we can to just help you, whether you don't have the money to pay for training or you just want to do it yourself. We're here to show you as much as we can.
Yep. So stay tuned.
And thank you for watching.
See you later. Peace.